is deep. It's like
metaphysics is confusing.
It's confusing, but yet you could say
what is it then?
It's that which is non-physical, like our dreams. Do you know?
But how can you say a dream is non-physical if it's if the framework is physical?
Yes, because we have this ability to create worlds within us. Yeah. So we actually know that we participate in dreams.
I agree we participate in dreams, but I'd say the simulation we're creating inside our minds is at least partially physical.
I like that. Welcome to Path 101. I'm your host, Casa. The dream, I know it's physical, isn't it? When you're in it, it appears so physical. But you know when you wake up.
I just read that light we're refracting in the dream to perceive, all of that stuff is physical in some way. Even if it's not real physical, it's a different kind of physical.
Yes. So what if you say that in some dreams they're just creations of the mind, and what's to say that maybe in some other dreams they're not really dreams, but they are astrophysical experiences.
And what's the difference between a dream and astrophysical experience?
It depends. Is there dreams that you remember about?
Yeah.
Well, why do we remember those particular dreams?
Maybe it's like
why?
An accident, error. You know what I mean? Because we don't do it regularly. It's like a once.
Yes.
You know.
Funny thing. I remember the dreams that I'm having an astral experience, because when I'm having that astral experience, the first thing I notice is my physical body in the bed sleeping, while I'm in a copy of myself.
The only astral experience I had, I've had two, but the main one that resonated with me, I was not near. I didn't see my bed or nothing.
Yes, yeah, but there was something that resonates with you that you still remember till today. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. How come we remember something that's not physical? Maybe did we actually go somewhere? This is just. It's not like we know. So we're reasoning. Did we pop out of our bodies and go to the journey to another reality, another dimension? But yet somehow we have residual memories of it.
I think it could be different lifetime, different place in reality, different.
It could be anything.
Each dream could be a different experience in a different realm. You know what I mean? We don't
that is metaphysics. That is metaphysics, because we know it's not of this awakened world that we're in, the physical world. I've had spooky dreams where I'm like, okay, I know this is not the real world. I've had dreams where I've gone, I'm in a dream. You know, I've had dreams where now there's such horrible nightmares that even as I wake up from the dream and my eyes are open, the dream's still going on. In my head, I can still see the images.
My dreams are quite vivid if I don't smoke,
Yeah, so what is this metaphysics? This is metaphysics. Reasoning with these non-physical aspects of yourself. You know, so imagine someone who's had a spiritual experience while they're awake in the physical world. Some people call them cuckoo. Welcome to the cuckoo. Join us! If you have any cuckoo experience, you're not alone. I'm one of the biggest cuckoos going on. So send me a message. Let me know what you've experienced. Any near-death experiences out there, please let me know. I'm one of you. Right? That's what we're trying to build here. If I can get a lot of people who've had near-death experiences, just sending us your experiences. Let us know.
We're not finding loads of them.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see how many people out there have had near-death experience, because I think there's a lot.
I know.
I think there's a list over 1 million. There's 8 billion people in the world. If we just check on YouTube and how many
Can
people...
I say with this near-death thing,
Yeah.
how do you know how, as an individual, only surely like a higher being or something, or someone with a higher intellect could know how close another being has been to death? You know what I mean? And does that make sense? Like you could be so close like to death in a different way. You know what I mean? Like getting hit by a bus, for example, or but not knowing you're gonna get hit by a bus, but you could have been like 99.999% you was gonna get hit by a bus that day or something,
And you did not get hit by a bus.
Or someone dodged the statistic.
But that happens every day. They were not supposed to die. If we go back to the theory of what I'm speaking about, the entity, I'm sticking to my theory, right?
You say if they're not supposed to die, but that implies that you believe everything's set out.
Precisely.
No RNG at all.
What do you mean by RNG?
Random number generation, some element of randomness in the system.
That's hijacking. That's like in the movie Matrix.
How's it hijacking?
It's like in the movie Matrix when Neo meets the Oracle for the second time, and they're in the basketball court. She offers him a sweetie, and he does not know. But he sits down and takes the sweet. Then she mentions to him that there's programs running around doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing, and there's programs running around doing stuff they're supposed to be doing. And sometimes a program, because it faces deletion where it's at, it can come down into the matrix and hide in the matrix. So what does she call these programs? You know what the programs are. You call them angels, demons, vampires, wolves, werewolves, gods, you name them. Like you're saying, because I say the universe is in simulation, and man has come into the universe to participate in this simulation. Yeah, he's part of the dreaming aspect that is man. Is us the human being, meaning that every single human being has an entity that came into the universe, and that entity is in a higher dimension.
So I always thought aspects of ourselves are trapped away in ways that we can't comprehend or understand.
Yes.
I don't know about entities and stuff like that.
Yes. So imagine that's metaphysics. That's the beauty of metaphysics. How deep does it go? How deep does this simulation theory? This is why it's called metaphysics. We want to understand beyond the physical.
I think it goes so deep, bro, because even like I'm sitting there having a conversation with you and it feels like our reality is the shared reality.
Yes, our shared reality. But at night when you slumber, you do not have a shared reality, do you? No. So we as human beings, every single one of us has two realities. The awakened reality and the sleep reality. We know the awakened reality. We all comprehend it. It's a social one.
I meant like the difference between actuality and the reality we perceive.
That's what I'm saying now. It makes it even complicated because science says, the human eye acts just like the camera. But I feel as a human being, I'm looking out of my head, I'm using my eyes to look out.
Naturally, that's the
sensation. Yes, but it's not happening like that. It's happening just like the camera. The lights are coming in, and back here somewhere, it's being deciphered and flipped around, and some conscious agent
just a fraction.
Conscious agent. Let me steal that from what's his name? Donald Hoffman. Praise Donald Hoffman. He's coming out with some deep phrases. A conscious agent. Space and time is doomed. Like we're in a simulation. You see, science is coming back into these metaphysical principles. Science has to knock at the door of metaphysics now. It's knocking. It's like, let me in. Are we in a simulation? Is this really Maya? Do you know? Like we say, we're gonna have to go back to the ancient understanding of our place in our reality first, before we want to understand the whole reality. Our place in it. What we doing? Here's a method. Go on.
That brings me back to my point, that when you say our place in reality.
Yeah.
If there is random elements to reality, then maybe we don't have it's up to us to find our place in reality.
But yeah, let's go back to that, what you said about reality before. I went to the Oracle. It appears, if I think about it, did I fully answer your question? So she mentioned about these programs, yeah, that are running the system. In our reality, we call them angels, archangels, and all that kind of stuff. But yet, in deeper mysteries, occult, you have all this witchcraft and mysticism and Satanism. Now that is deep metaphysics, because I don't understand it, and I would not participate in it. Do you know? But I'm like, okay, this shit happens. Have I seen it? I've seen aspects of it. Yes. Does it cause effect in people's life? Yes, it does. Some of it is pure malevolence, but this is happening in the universe, in where you came into. Like I say, you be metaphysically an aspect of who we are, not the physical body, not the ego, but a higher aspect of who we are that's dreaming us does not come from the universe. Deep metaphysics.
So what's with the billions of people and the need for the ever-growing population and stuff like where's the answers? You know what I mean?
That leads me to another equation as well. Those of you that have read the Emerald Tablets, give me a shout. Let's see your interpretation of it. Let's see your point of view on it. Because I have a statement that I came across on the Emerald Tablets, and I just ponder upon it, and I don't know the answer. But it leads a massive question to me. Like I keep on talking about the entity, coming from outside of the universe, blah blah blah. But that question, that statement that is stated on the Emerald Tablets, is saying that there's some human beings that are spawns from lower stars. So this star that they're talking about is still the entity that I'm talking about. So is there other entities that come into our universe, but they're not coming from a dimension which most, how can I put this? But let's say for an example, this entity that I'm speaking of, that came and took on the human body, is a malevolent entity. What's to say malevolent entities from lower dimensional realities can also be conceived as human beings?
What do you mean?
Meaning that beings that don't have that human man thing that I'm talking about, that their aspect of the man that I'm talking about comes from a lower dimension of the universe. Yeah? So it now also desires to exist in this dimension. But when it exists in this dimension and takes on a corporeal body, yeah, it's a cynical human being. It's a human being born with evil. It's an idea, a concept that I'm like.
What do you mean human being born with evil?
Meaning it's an evil being born.
You believe like some people are just born evil?
Yes, meaning that the entity that's copying the human body is an evil one. Just like I say, each one of us are entities that came into the universe and made a copy of ourselves in the womb.
What do you mean made a copy of us?
Meaning that from the time of the explosion in the sex moment of conception, the sexual moment of conception, the entity entered into the egg.
Why would that need to happen?
In order for the human being to be born.
So you believe there's like a spiritual aspect to every birth?
Yes.
And this is like the spirit side that we can't detect and stuff like that?
Yes.
There's one way to look at it, man.
Yes. We are spirit, man, soul, human. Human is what's the vehicle that we need to experience in the three-dimensional reality. And it makes copies of itself to experience other dimensions. That's in the dreams. Yeah? So check it, in the dream you make a copy of yourself to experience another reality, but that copy is exactly like your fleshly body. We know we do that, we dream, and that dream, that physiology in the dream looks exactly like this physical body in the physical world. Yeah?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. So we're making copies of ourselves in the dream. What's to say, in this physical reality, it's also a higher dream. There's something dreaming me. But yet, in order for this physical body to be dreamt, it had to be subatomically formed together and then cellularly developed in the womb and then given out to the world. Meaning the suit that I'm wearing, the physical body that I'm wearing, had to be corporealized in a woman's womb.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And she had to
everyone
push.
has to fucking get born through birth. At
Yes,
the moment.
yes, but
Mostly.
that's what I'm saying. That the higher self, an aspect of who we are, is what put that cellular body together in the womb.
But where's the proof to say that there's like entities and stuff going in and out and all that stuff?
Scientifically, there isn't, but they're knocking at the door. They're knocking at the door. When you talk about the matrix reality, what's that video I watched? The E8 lattice. You need to watch the E8 lattice and reason with what science is talking about now. They're talking about metaphysical principles in the E8 lattice. So an entity is needed in that matrix theory.
How do they talk about metaphysical principles?
I
did watch the video.
Yes, it's all metaphysics to me. The crystal reflecting a shadow, and that shadow is a three-dimensional reality. All lies in metaphysical principles. So you see, science is knocking at that ancient door. It's like, let me in. I want to understand Maya. I want to know the matrix, really and truly. I want to understand how the universe is. Ancient people already knew about this stuff. That's why Pythagoras was there with that triangle and all those, I can't remember what they called.
He was a madman, supposedly.
He sounds like he was a madman, but he wasn't. He studied in Egypt.
I read about Pythagoras.
Yes.
Yeah, he sounds
yeah, he sounds like a bit of a madman. I was like, the loony ones! The loony ones! Another one, Plato, like when he just talks about the allegory of the cave, what the hell is he on about? He's not about the matrix. It's the simulation theory. That's why they called him Thomas Anderson.
I think it's the death thing that drives people nuts towards God. And the eternal life thing.
And the desire of eternal life.
Not even the desire, like if like it drives people nuts. This is the part that drove me nuts, yeah? Knowing that reality in essence has to be eternal in one shape or form, or multiple shapes and forms. The time element of reality, yeah?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Time has to be ongoing.
Yes. Yes.
And that means that if you take into factor all the time that could ever exist, the probability is you're likely coming back in one way, shape or form, And that's what drives people to the God, the heaven, the hell. If I'm coming back in one way, shape or form, then I want to come back in a good way, shape or form, because it's not going to be me that controls likely if I come back or not. And that's what drives people to God, I think. Personally, I don't know. It's hard to decipher them. I'm an agnostic myself.
I know.
So I find it strange still, because I'm still having the wars, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
But it is what it is, man.
Yes. You remember when I mentioned life and death is the two sides of a coin. Yes. The entity also has to participate in what the physical body thinks, oh, it's death. You think, because the physical body goes into the ground and we know that's over, yes, in the three-dimensional reality, you don't exist now. But remember, I mentioned that there's an aspect of you that came into the universe. And that aspect also has to play out that realities that we call heaven and hell, all that, which is just higher dimensional realities that we go to every night. What if someone has an astral experience, wakes up in the morning, has no clue about it, but yet at the moment of death, they end up in that astral world, higher astral world.
That's assuming you believe everyone goes to some sort of astral realm at the moment of death, yeah?
They might be that. Someone could say they went to heaven. But where is heaven? Is it somewhere in the universe that's higher dimension than here? And everything is made of light so bright, you feel so real cool. I can take that. I can handle that. But do you know if it's in the universe or not?
How do you define universe? And that's going to answer
precisely.
The question. That's
precisely.
literally going to
answer the question. Yeah, precisely. How do you know that you've left the universe? How do you know that in your death you're not still participating in the cosmic universal fractal simulation? You don't know. You don't know unless you've experienced coming into the fractal simulation and departing from the fractal simulation. Only experience will let you know that, oh shit, that is the universe. But that's not death, that's beyond death. That's for the entity that's coming into the universe to participate in life and death. So even in death, there's no ending. The ego continues. The ego can attach to the soul and participate in a solar existence right here in the solar system, in this galaxy. It's for the soul.
The way you describe everything is a strange way to look at things, but it's an interesting theory, yeah.
Yeah. Where's that question you said the other day in regards to, you seem to be a very religious person, but yet I don't believe in God. But if you listen to my theory, you'd be like, this guy's goddamn fucking religious as well. Yeah, but this is from my near-death experience. An experience is a mother of all teachers, and if the universe, the cosmos, or beyond the cosmos gives you an experience, oh shit, I'm like, okay. I'm able now to have higher theories, higher awarenessness, and have higher equations now about who are we. Only that experience now lets me ask the entity, because I cannot exclude it in the equation. I can't exclude it in the equation, just as you cannot exclude, I've had a dream. You can't be in the world and say, oh, if someone asks you, have you ever had a dream? You say, no, I've never had a dream. We think you're joking. Because
I guarantee there's one.
It must be something.
There's NPCs down there's fucking everything now, man.
Do you see what they mean when you say that NPC now makes?
You know what I mean, Dan?
Yes.
Listen, and they're incapable of having internal thought.
Yes. See that.
And there's a lot of people who have internal thought but will never recollect or rethink about what they've thought about. And that's just like going first flow.
See that now, because I'm that metaphysical mindset. Now that sends me back to the emerald tablets, because when I heard that I was like, what the fuck? When the first time I heard that emerald tablets on YouTube, I was like, what is this? Because then I'm like, where's the rest of it? You just said something. Where is the rest of it? Because he just drops statements and he leaves you asking of the question, like, wait. Like in the emerald tablets, like I said, when you said that NPC, it took me back to that equation, spawns of lower stars. That statement is in the emerald tablets. These beings that come into human reality and are conceived as human beings, that's what I'm thinking. And they come from lower dimensions in our universe. And now they're conceived as human beings. And they're cynical as hell. Because they don't have this entity that I'm speaking of. And that entity I'm speaking of, now I think about it more in the emerald tablets, isn't that where he goes bound to the body until the end of strife? There's an aspect of who we are that is bound to this body until we finish this cosmic cycle stuff. Not just earthly, but cosmic. Because a part of us is a cosmic citizen, is a cosmic entity, the carbon-based being. Have you ever heard that human is also called a carbon-based entity? Now what is that? What is this carbon-based entity aspect of who we are? Isn't that when someone dies, the physical, and you take the physical body, the soul's left, the ego's left, you take the physical body and you cremate it. Now imagine you cremate it and compress it so much it becomes a diamond. You know, they do that, don't they?
I don't know if they turn ashes to stone.
I've heard that they've turned ashes into diamond.
I think you can get them made into crystal and stuff like that.
Check it one time. Check it, where's that thing? But yeah, but I've heard that they've turned human ashes into a diamond from the dark carbon aspect of who we are. Is that the let us make man from the earth ground? Is it that dark carbon?
It will cost $3,000 to $37,000 to turn ashes into a synthetic diamond.
Oh.
The specific price depends on the size of the diamond.
Exactly. Exactly. So that carbon aspect of who we are, what is it? That is what's left when the entity departs. Because that entity that we are utilizes that carbon nature as a cosmic being. As a cosmic being. Agent Smith, that darkness. You see, these metaphysics, these metaphysical principles, they are in all of these Hollywood films that we watch. A lot of the horrors are filled with these metaphysical principles. The sci-fis. You know, Harry Potter.
Well, to make the diamond, and they extract all the carbon, and they say we're a carbon-based life.
Yo!
They extract all, convert the carbon into graphite. Use high pressure, and then they crystallize it, cut and polish it, and off they go.
Bam! A star. A star. So imagine that carbon-based dust, and that's from death. And you bring forth a star out of our death.
It's not a star.
It's a beautiful thing.
Crystal.
Crystal like that. You look around, so they chop it up and everything, and the human being puts that artistic aspect to it, that creativity, intellectual shit in it. And it looks like a fucking star. You can dust that in space and die and twinkle. And she's like, I fucking love it. I love that cosmic stuff, man. But yeah, just imagine that, man. That's from our carbon aspect. So what is this carbon being? Carbon entity. You know what carbon entity be? Wait, they never told you that in the Bible. They did. Adam was made from the earth of the ground. That's what's left here on earth when the entity leaves. So that was the clay they took to create these vessels of this being can enter and experience existence in the universe, in a three-dimensional universe. Now imagine the aspect of you that enters into a fourth-dimensional universe, that's using the three-dimensional body to experience the three-dimensional universe. Jeez. You know, now you think about that. A human being, yeah, is purely metaphysics. His aspect of himself which he doesn't know. How do we breathe, man? What do we do with oxygen besides destroy it? Comes out as a destruction form that plants take in carbon dioxide. Don't they take in carbon dioxide? You know? Shit. Yeah, so that's the depth of metaphysics. We all do metaphysics. Everybody does the metaphysics, but how do you know when you're doing it, and can you use it to grow your mind? You're in the universe. Your physical body is in the universe. You have weird thoughts just popping in and out. But how much of those thoughts are metaphysical that you don't know what you're going to do with them? And why are they popping in and out of our head? Just random thoughts. Pop, 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 pop. You know? And it depends. If you sometimes cannot control your thoughts, you get such weird, intruding thoughts. Isn't that metaphysical? We cannot control our thoughts and we get intruding thoughts. So you think about how much metaphysics stuff do. We destroy light. Just by looking at reality. As soon as we take it in as a camera, we destroy it in order that we could cognize reality. We destroy sound so we could hear. We need to destroy organic compounds and eat them, so we could like sustain our physical body. We're part of the earth. And that is like part of that three-dimensional simulation that we have to experience. You have to eat to be in this reality. You know, you have to drink, and then you get the cravings. You know the cravings, the sexual cravings. You know the animal shit. Don't mess about, mate. You get them cravings straight out of man's horny. Part of this reality. And how about this? How about this one, yeah? I'll knock you out with this one. That entity that I'm speaking about does not have genitals. So in the entity state, you don't need to procreate. What for? That's only for the physical body, the residual body, the one that is dreaming. The ego wants to procreate because the ego is a programmed aspect.
It's trying to have sex in the future like Bender from Futurama.
You know. How about this one? Man's told you that, yeah, when you go to heaven you're going to have how many wives? But your physical body is left on earth. Yeah, and so in which heaven if you're going to have 6 wives? Well, you just think about it. Okay, you've left your physical body, your soul. Does your soul have genitals? No, it doesn't. A soul's not human. Does the entity have genitals? No, it doesn't.
But who's to say in a different area of space and time, your cognition or your perception?
That's very interesting.
Just go into a new body.
Yes, that's very interesting, and I bet that does happen. Just like I was saying, like we go into dreams and we still perceive that we have a physical body. So imagine now you have you've left your body, you're dearly departed. But now you're stuck in astral planes where your ego is able to perceive another physical body, just like the one you left in the physical world. So in that dimension, oh shit, you're going to experience more shit with another physical body like this? You want that? I don't want that. That's one thing I definitely don't want. Think I've had a near-death experience and then I'm reasoning with, I've had astral body experiences. I don't want this ego, yeah, to ascend into a lower astral dimension in death. Because I know that's possible. I'm just an ego in a physical body. There's nothing gonna die. It's part of it. I'm one of them ones that, yeah, bring it on, man. I know what's coming on. But I don't want me, the ego, even to end up in a higher dimension where like I'm with angels and oh God and all that kind of stuff. I don't want that for me, the ego. Hey, I want what I experience in my near-death experience. I want to merge back with that entity that I'm speaking about that chose to be a human being. But the purpose of it choosing to be a human being, to fulfill its purpose. That's why we all chose to be a human being. Those of us that are not of a lower spawn. We all chose to be human beings, and we came here to fulfill our desires that we already had. But now we have an ego because of this three-dimensional reality, and we've lost our aspects of self. So we have to use the ego. That's why it's here now, and we have it to develop the ego. In order it could ascend into higher dimensions of the universe. Because death is just a doorway to another higher dimension if the ego wants to go into higher dimensions. But me, as this ego? No, mate, I want to return back to the entity realm, outside of the universe. So you see, I have these theories about, death, and God damn, it's interesting. Because I know you won't believe that you pop out of the physical world into astral planes. In sleep. Cool. But why you want to be caught up there in death when you could do it while you're alive? That's just these people, individual people that I know that pop out of their physical body in command and journey into astral planes. In command. They could just do it pop. You see it in Hollywood films and you think they're joking. These people like that, well-learned people that can separate themselves from their physical body and journey into other realities and experience other realities. But those realities are still in the universe. You probably have done that without control. I have. And I don't know how I did it, but it just happened. But nevertheless, that aspect of me that was perceiving myself in that reality as a human being is still this ego, but on a higher state. There's an ego. We're more than an ego. We're more than an ego. We're that thing that's observing the dream while the ego is running around in the dream. That's how metaphysical deep it is. You remember the dreams because you're observing the dreams. So there's an aspect of us that's higher than the ego. Just there watching the dream. Imagine if you just could connect with that aspect that's behind the dreams, observing the dream. What would happen to your intellectual or ego aspect? What would happen to your way of thinking in the physical world? As soon as you wake out of that dream, you'll be like, what the fuck? Something might happen to you while you're sleeping in that stage. If you just entered behind the dreams, the observer of the dreams. We don't know, but that is the depth of metaphysics. You know, it's something that we do naturally without even knowing, and we do not contemplate about it. You know, just go on about, everyday, economical, materialistic life. Yeah. So what do you think about that metaphysics? That we deal with metaphysics every day, whether we want it or not. Your breathing, your perception, your hearing, your feelings, your emotions. Where are they coming from? Isn't that metaphysics? Isn't that something that's not physical? Just think about
To me, nothing's non-physical because my description of physical is anything that has description.
But I'm talking of physical, not of this dimension. Like, for example, now feelings and desires. We have them in our physical body, but they're not a physical thing, are they?
Being sad or angry.
Yes.
You wouldn't say the chemicals or whatever you're giving off at that time to allow you to be that way are exactly that thing.
What are they chemicals that are produced by the body?
Yeah.
Yes, so anger is a chemical that you cannot control, if that's the case. Or is there an emotion?
Maybe control's an illusion.
Yeah, see, aha.
When you see something, you get angry. You don't have an option sometimes.
You see,
I feel that,
But
something can just make you angry.
Yeah,
you get angry. That's
you get angry, but here comes the intelligent part of it. It's how you react.
Exactly. Yeah.
A non-intellectual person would just and then the intelligent person would be like, okay, what's the consequence, or what's this, and deal with it differently. But that's what I'm talking about now. That ability just to reason, that higher reasoning, that's metaphysics compared to like, okay, he's out of control. Even reasoning that he's out of control, it's like, okay, to me that's metaphysics, because you have no control of your ego. Something is happening to you, something, psychological, which is non-physical. It's happening to you that you can't not control your physical body and you have outbursts. Oh, how about this? My feelings, you don't know how I feel.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for all of that.
The ladies
there's a reason. There's physicality behind why they're like that.
Is that emotions? Is it the emotions?
Even emotions.
But it's not physical. But it's not physical, is it? Emotions are not physical, is it?
They are physical.
Really?
They're within us. They're physical things.
Yeah, but we
They're
can't
hopefully
see.
physical.
We can't see them.
I can see someone happy, angry, you know what I mean?
That's
Unless
the.
they're psychopath, and then they don't even have emotions, cuz, or sociopath, or whatever. it
Well,
is.
that's got some next kind of violent emotions, but how about that one? They're
That's the
acting
only
out.
one they have. It's the angry one, isn't it? So you know they're always angry.
Oh,
That's
you
the
see,
psychopath or sociopath.
That's what we're trying to deal with, like these. I just, when I look at it, like I said, metaphysically, I'm like, that ego is out of control. The ego is gone. The mind, I mean, okay, there's no connection between the ego and the mind. The ego is just acting out. Because I do.
Maybe we're like the front receiver. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I'm like looking at the ego as a.
Maybe we're the dog on the leash, the perceiver. You know what I mean?
You
First
know,
perceiver. We feel like the first
perceiver. Yes.
But we might not be the first perceiver in our own bodies.
We might not be exactly, but the ego is there, rah, 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 rah. And you know all of that is like, to me it's like, the because I've noticed the more knowledge of self you have, the more control of the physical body you have. You know, literally. The more self aware, the more of your higher understanding is in function. The more you don't let your physical body just outburst. You may have emotions. You ever seen like I don't like to say this, but dudes that have just been raised by single women, their emotions are just all over the place. There hasn't been that, how can I say, still sharp and still, you know? There hasn't been that male influence. So his emotions are all over the place. They're very much like women's emotions, feeling.
Hold on a minute, didn't you grow up in a single mother?
There was a man there, but he didn't play a good part. I know this. That's why I can say this stuff, because I've been there, and something happened to me. I was able to change, and I was able to go within, literally go within, and I was able to check my behaviors. But that's because something happened to me. If that never happened to me, I would not even be talking about. I would not even remember my near-death experience. That's how far gone I was. You know, I was leaving. I was in a life of denial. It's like I know what it is not to be in your senses. Literally, just living a hyper life, and everything is just entertainment, and you're not taking life serious. I definitely know what is that. That is like the ego is out of control. So there is that. That's why we have to develop the ego, because we've attained it in the physical body. And I believe one thing. Imagine that we've attained the ego at 4 years old. Because that's when we start identifying with us, with me, my name, my hand, my physical body, and knowing that okay, I'm separate from that. That's when it started really sinking in, the ego, and being programmed. There's some kids that are born and they are maybe at 2 coming into 3 years old. When they start speaking, they don't identify with the body. They say like, if they call, let's say Tony, they say Tony's hungry.
Yeah.
You see?
Do you not think that's like a language issue?
No.
Yeah, I feel like it's because they don't understand grammar yet. They don't understand.
Yeah, there is that, but because there is this
they know
ancient.
they're Tony and Tony's hungry, so they just say it in third person because that's what they know.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
but how about this metaphysically now? This is from the mysteries of the car and the bar and the Messiah from Egypt, and I think this actually happens that when a human being is born, between 1 and 3 years old, there's a spirit that's in the body fully, yeah? Mm-hmm. By 4 years old, it has to leave the body because its powers are so great, yeah? That it would destroy that physical body. So it departs from the physical body. This is an ancient mysticism, yeah, from Egypt. So it departs from the physical body, and the ego now and the soul enter the physical body, what we call the ego and the soul, to preoccupy the soul. But the ego is aspects of that entity that I'm speaking about, like a division of its awareness into the physical body from about 4 years old. But these are ancient teachings from the temple of, Egypt now. So is this? Do you actually tell me that this might be happening today? Still, like part of the cosmic, just nature of the simulation of what they call the Maya in the ancient world. That they understood that a spirit comes in first, then an ego and a soul takes in the body later on.
I don't think so. Just because I don't think they had the language we use, so they could never have thought those things. Maybe in different ways, in different shades. But that would be like your theory. You know what I mean? That's your theory.
Yeah, but the reason I'm using that theory because it was left in their writings.
What was?
These theories of the car and the bar. That's why we understand.
Ego entering the body.
Yes, that's
4 years old.
Yes, that's why they have such a thing as the Kabbalah. It comes from these knowledge of the ancient priests, and it's been translated into Latin. Apparently, Plato had the knowledge of this, and they translated it into Latin. So, and the Jewish people learned it from the Moors in Egypt, in Spain, 1400, 1500. So that kind of mystical teachings were there, which I think they might be calling it the tree of life or the flower of life teachings. So you can see how it's been carried on through these occults today, called occult mystical schools and societies. So they have a lot of metaphysical principles about the human being and the human soul and other aspects of who we are. That's why they can make all these Hollywood blockbusters, all the marvels. They take those theories and then turn them into superheroes and gods and stuff like that. So we're still surrounded by metaphysics. It's everywhere. That of the beyond. Even when someone's designing a trainer, a new Nike trainer, a new car, that concept, that imagination to stick with that BMW concept or Mercedes-Benz concept. It's metaphysical because the designer has to, flow those Mercedes-Benz lines. So imagine
that is non-physical.
Initially, when the artist or the designer is coming up with a concept for a car, it's in his head. He has to doodle them. That doodling ability is to get the ideas or the concepts.
To me, non-physical is the concept of zero, nothing. The concept of nothing. That is non-physical.
Like I said, your dreams are non-physical to me is anything not of this physical reality. My dreams are non-physical.
But you say not of your physical reality.
Meaning not of
this.
This physical reality. Yeah. This one that we wake up to. Yeah. The one that we fall to in a dream is not our physical reality.
But it's still part of it, you know what I mean? It's happening inside.
It's happening inside of our heads.
Yeah, but that's still inside this reality, though. You get what I mean?
Yes, it's inside of this universe.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But not this three-dimensional reality that the physical eyes open to.
No, but the rest of your senses are still there and stuff. Yeah, you may not have access to them.
Yes. But when you're in a dreamland, that land is not of the physical dimension.
No, it's of a different dimension.
Precisely.
It's still in physicality in my eyes.
It's in your physicality,
yes.
in the back of your head, yes. Not in the presence of your sight.
No, but that doesn't mean just because I could be having a dream before I know some alien could be watching my dream on his computer screen.
Probably we don't know. But I'm just saying that process of that which is not of the physical. Like I said, there's people that have astral projection, and where they astral project to is another maybe physical reality, and they're perceiving other beings or other realities, but yet their physical body is still in this 3 dimension that we know.
Yeah, I understand that, but because it's like a projection,
Yes, but
projection in
it's
their brain, it's still projecting something, and that something is
something.
projecting
Yes,
is something.
yes,
Right?
that's something. Yes, that it's still a form of matter.
That's
but
what
not,
I mean.
yeah,
It's
but
a
not
different
this.
form of that.
Aha, that different form of matter that the physical eye cannot cognize is what's meta, beyond the physical. Physical. It's called meta. That's why I say it's metaphysical. It's
What did you
beyond.
say at the beginning there?
It's beyond the physical sight. Metaphysical. Beyond
What part of it is beyond the physical?
anything that you experience that's beyond the physical, like your dream. It might be real, like you're saying, what you're experiencing in your dream, but it's not something of this 3-dimensional reality that your eyes are looking at.
It is, but
But
just
you're
not.
not-
It's not the part you mean.
Precisely. But we're going back to that. Okay, it's not.
It's tomato.
Yes, that dream that we're having, it's our bodies, our eyes are closed. We can't even perceive the chair and the bed that we're in, because we're busy in that dimension. So that dimension that the physical world cannot experience is metaphysical. See?
I don't know.
That's where we live. That's what metaphysical means. You know? That's what we're into that path of becoming a knowledge of self. And I hope we've brought a little equations to you. Any more questions you have, or any weirdness, let us know. I hope you enjoyed that one. We'll see you later. Keep searching.